Chapter 3 Laws Changed. The Alabama marches brought change. President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the law. The Voting Rights Act made voting easier for Black people. You can see here that this is a ballot, which is what you would vote on. Protesters changed many laws. Like what? Segregation ended. Voting got easier. It became illegal to stop Black people from living where they wanted. Thousands of activists fought for equal rights. They faced violence. They fought anyway. The civil rights movement helped Black people, but they still face prejudice. Prejudice is one of those words that's bolded, so let's click on it.
Prejudice.
Look at these different definitions and try to figure out which one might go along with this sentence. The one that goes along best would be a favoring or dislike of something without a good reason, unfriendly feelings directed against an individual, group, or race. But they still faced prejudice. Many still fight for equal rights. Do you know of anyone who fights for equality? What do you think? People protest about issues they care about. What do you care about? How could you help make change? This is a timeline that can show you some of the important events that took place during the civil rights movement. So remember, when we look at a timeline, it'll give us the date and it'll give us some information about that date, and it goes in order. So this was the longest time ago to the most recent. So in 1954, the U.S. Supreme Court case, Brown v. Board of Education in Topeka, rules that racial segregation in public schools is illegal. And if you remember, we read about Ruby Bridges last year. That went along with this case. We have Rosa Parks refusing to give up her seat on the bus. We have the Little Rock Nine. That was from our first day of reading this book. The sit-ins was our second day. Martin Luther King's famous I Have a Dream speech. The Civil Rights Act. Malcolm X was killed in New York City. Protesters march. And then the Voting Rights Act comes into law. And then, unfortunately, Dr. King was killed too. Also, like in most nonfiction books, we have a glossary. So if you don't know the definition to any of those words, you can look for them here. Luckily, in EPIC, you can just click on the word too, but they give their own definitions to go along